Good morning. Oh, my stars. Don't look at my hair. Don't look at my hair. I want to do something different this morning. So, this morning, what I want to do is I want to ask you some questions to see where your mindset is at. There's no right or wrong answers. So, it just determines on where your thought process is and what you can do about it. And at the end, I'll let you know what it is. But so, go ahead and pen and paper. I'll wait for a second here while you do that. You know what? I think maybe I'll do it with you. And I'm not perfect at this either. So get a pen and paper, and then I will. So again, there's no right or wrong answers. So the first question is, I believe I can always change my talent no matter how much I have to start with. So you either one, strongly agree, two, disagree, three, disagree somewhat, four, agree somewhat, five, agree, or six, strongly agree. So the question again is, I believe I can always change my talent no matter how much I have to start with. So for me, I believe I can always change my talent no matter how much I have to start with. Either you disagree, strongly disagree, disagree somewhat, agree somewhat. Number five is agree, and number six is strongly agree. So I'm going to put my answer down, and no, I'm not going to tell you what it is. Okay, next question. You guys are so funny. I like working on things that make me think hard. I like working on things that make me think hard. So it's still strongly disagree somewhat, agree, or strongly agree. The question again for number two is, I like working on things that make me think hard. You remember three? Number three says, I don't mind making a lot of errors when I first start learning something new. I don't mind making a lot of errors when I first start learning something new. So one is strongly agree, two is disagree, three is disagree somewhat, four is agree somewhat, five is agree, and six is strongly agree. And again, the question is, I don't mind making a lot of errors when I first start learning something new. What do you think? What's my answer? All right, you ready for number four? Number four. When something is hard, it makes me want to try harder. It doesn't make me want to give up. So when something is hard, it makes me want to try harder. It doesn't make me want to give up. All right, let's go on to the next question here. Says, I know I can learn new things, but I don't believe I can change my intelligence. I know I can learn new things, but I don't believe I can change my intelligence. This one is backwards, right? So strongly disagree, which I don't know why it's backwards, but six is strongly disagree. Five is disagree. Four is disagree somewhat. Three is agree somewhat. Two is agree, and one is strongly agree. And I don't know why they did that one backwards, but they did. I don't believe I can change my intelligence. All right. Got my answer. Got yours? All right. Next question. I prefer doing things that I can do well and without putting a lot of effort into it. I prefer doing things that I can do well at, without putting a lot of effort into it. So 6 is strongly disagree. 5 is disagree. 4 is disagree somewhat. 3 is agree somewhat. 2 is agree. And 1 is strongly agree. I prefer doing things that I can do well at without putting effort into it. Okay. All right. Next question. I prefer to work on things that I can do perfectly or get right most of the time. I prefer to work on things that I can do perfectly or get right most of the time. 1 is strongly agree. 2 is agree. 3 is somewhat agree. 4 is disagree somewhat. 5 is disagree. And 6 is strongly disagree. I prefer to work on things that I can do perfectly or get right most of the time. Okay, there's my answer. Ready for the next one? If I have to try hard or put in extra work, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough. If I have to try hard enough or put in extra work, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough. 1 is strongly agree. 2 is agree. 3 is agree somewhat. 4 is disagree somewhat. 5 is disagree. And 6 is strongly disagree. So if I have to try hard or put in extra work, it makes me feel like I'm not good enough. So do you strongly agree, which is 1? 2 is agree. 3 is agree somewhat. 4 is disagree somewhat. 5 is disagree. And 6 is strongly disagree. All right, so let's add up our numbers, and I'll tell you what they mean. So I'm cheating because I don't like doing this. Come on. Calculator. So okay, I got my answer. Let me make sure I have it correct. And I was one off. All right. Are we ready? All right. So after you get your answers, this is what it all means. So if you scored between 8 and 12, it says that your talents, intelligence, and abilities are fixed traits that can't be changed. You see putting in effort and trying hard as a sign you just aren't good. You're not likely to do well or succeed. You would rather not participate and instead do things that come easy for you. People are that way naturally, and they do not have to put an effort to be that way. That's 8 to 12. So if you scored 17 and 24, this is what it says. It says you believe your talents, intelligence, and abilities probably don't change very much. You tend to choose situations in which you don't make many mistakes. You tend to do well, and you don't have to put in too much effort. You believe that learning and improving should be easy to do. That's 17 to 24. Now, for those that scored higher, 25 to 30, this is what it says. You're not sure if your talents, intelligence, or abilities can be changed, but you recognize you can learn and change in some ways. You care about your performance and being good at things, but you also value learning something new that you're not as good at yet. You prefer not to have to try too hard. And here's the last one. So the next one is 33 to 40. And it says, you believe you can increase your intelligence and improve your talents and abilities. You care about learning and growing, and you're not afraid to put in effort to improve. You care about performing well, but you value learning too. You would never avoid doing something in order to avoid looking or being bad at it. And the last one, if you scored this really high one, which is 41 to 48, it says, you strongly believe that you can learn, grow, and improve in all areas, including your talents, intelligence, and abilities. You enjoy being challenged by things you're not good at. You believe in the value of hard work. You don't fear making mistakes, looking bad, or even failing because you know these things lead you to learn and improve. You you value the effort learning it takes to succeed. So just remember that your mindset can change and develop, and you can shift your mindset more toward a growth mindset. But that's up to you. Only you can decide that. So just remember, just because you did it today doesn't mean that a week from now, a year from now, it won't change. It will. So my suggestion is to come back and redo it again someday. And just out of curiosity, what is your number? Mine is 26. I'm curious to know where you're at. Anyway, I will be back later today to talk about domestic violence again. It's the book called Domestic Violence by June Hunt. Anyways, everyone has a great day. I'll be back later. Bye.